Date with history.
The medieval joust called quintana offers a wonderful and surprising image of Ascoli Piceno. The festive atmosphere of this celebration and the imposing historical parade mix with the authentic scenery of the city. Thanks to an enthralling and involving atmosphere, both the participants and the tourists travel back to ancient times and discover the colours and the traditional sounds of the medieval joust, the 15th century solemn gestures and the opulent robes. Professor Luigi Morganti, teacher of history of art at the university and the artistic director of the Quintana Historical Parade, leads you through the tradition and the social reality of an event that embraces the whole city of Ascoli, an event that derives from the city dwellers' most authentic passion.
The origins of the quintana date back to the first city statutes from 1377. The statutes already witness a close connection between the people, the church and its patron, Saint Emedio. In fact, on the eve of Saint Emidio's day, both the city guilds and the officials used to go to church, to the bishop, and then light candles to Saint Emedio. Nowadays, this ritual is still in use, and it is celebrated on the eve of the quintana with a wonderful ceremony, where the castles, the officials, and the city guilds light candles to Saint Emedio. On the day of this celebration, the aristocrats, the archbishops, and the high-rank prelates wanted a horse to run in honor to the patron. The horse race wound along the city streets, and the winner got a crimson cloth, symbolizing martyrdom. Nowadays, the same prize is given to the winner of the quintana. During the 14th and the 15th centuries, the city was split up into areas called sestieri, and to each area belonged a series of churches. So, during the celebration days, there was a close connection and collaboration between the religious and the civil realities, between the officials and the church. The traditional horse race, which has been in vogue for several centuries, is back again in its modern version called quintana. Since 1954, the quintana has taken place every year, on the first Sunday of August, the one nearest Saint Emidio's Day as well. In the last 15 years, though, the quintana has been celebrated twice a year, on the second Saturday of July and on the first Sunday of August. Nowadays, the sestieri has taken on a very important meaning, not only due to the town planning. Each sestieri, in fact, boasts a history, which is characterized by traditional activities. The rivalry is not only related to the quintana and to the horse race. Actually, we are talking about a competition that goes on the whole year, and that includes other disciplines as well, such as archery and flag flying competitions. Our flag flyers have won very important prizes, being the best in Italy. The archers are historical archers who shoot with a bow and arrow that dates back to the 14th century and that requires a challenging and demanding training in order to be used. So, the modern quintana looks back in time, coming up again with a magnificent parade of 1,500 participants, which is probably the only one in Europe. The sense of belonging is very strong in Ascoli. Everything is related to the power of Centomedio, the patron. People from Ascoli are emotionally very tied to Centomedio and to the traditions that he handed down to the local people.
History turns into passion and social involvement, spreading not only tradition, but also a sense of belonging and participation, pride and enthusiasm towards the beauty of art and culture.
In the history of the Ascolani, the people from Ascoli, resides the will to pit themselves against other realities, to literally try on new clothes. This fact can easily be related to the historical origins of the carnival in Ascoli. The Ascolani love their city very much. This is a very particular phenomenon that is due to the sense of belonging to a specific area, Sestieri, within Ascoli. People here are so eager to protect and to defend their city and their sense of being Ascolani that they would do it in any situation. That's why 1,500 of them meet on that day in Piazza Ventidio Basso in order to start this long parade. The beginning of the parade is always a magical moment, when the miracle repeats itself each year. You can see beautiful costumes with specific reference to the historical epoch. It never happens that a quintanaro, a participant of the quintana, wears a wrong costume. It always reflects perfectly the historical period at issue. We always have detailed iconographical reference of great value and quality. Just think of the Crivelli, who let the saints wear the everyday clothes from the 15th century. The costume designer only has to adapt the materials and the colors to the style of the dress. He knows what he has to make reference to. He has a document, a picture, an image. It is a tradition made of jewels, gold jewels, the details of the costume, the posture, the right attitude. Vanini is beyond all doubt a great point of reference, because we are not only talking about a goldsmith. He was also a goldsmith sculptor. His works all deal with the sacred as a central theme. At that time, the goldsmith worked not only for the upper middle class, but also for the church. Vanini has really left a mark as an artist in every single church, in the reliquaries, and in great religious works. Nowadays, the goldsmiths of Ascoli produce high-quality jewels for the modern quintana, keeping traditions and using the past as a source of inspiration. Also, in this case, only what is already present in the symbols of the Renaissance can be produced. It is a research work, which is very important as it drives talented young people to do some historical research. The aim of the quintana is to transmit the historical feel to the tourist who is coming to Ascoli to enjoy this festival. While the participants are parading, while they are crossing the big, enormous squares of the city, I don't add any decorations, because the scenery is authentic. It would be a pity to touch it, to modify it. Though it is very important that the participant feels he is part of the picture. The parade becomes very solemn when the trumpets sound. So the people who come to Ascoli to see the Quintana must really have the impression of traveling back in time.
Discover the amazing energy and the great explosion of colors that embrace the city of Ascoli during the festival of the Quintana. Participating in this event is like traveling back in time, realizing the dream of experiencing the atmosphere of the 15th century. At the Quintana, the dream becomes true.